Are you enjoying and benefiting from Ar-Rahma TV? Use the link below to support us in creating more content that will be a sadaqah jariyah for you, inshaAllah.
And alhamdulillahi nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه تسليمًا كثيرا أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. In keeping with the theme of the summertime and trying to make this a productive, prosperous, beneficial summer for all of us, I want to talk about another one of those issues concerning the munasabat that happen every Sunday, every summer. And that is, many of us are being invited to weddings, to the wala'im of the Muslims, especially the walima that's connected to the summertime. Those marriages that people are having in the summer. Already, I've married 7 people, married 7 different couples in this summer. And the last marriage was ajib, gharib. It's always like that. But the issue is, as 2 of the members of our community came to me last week asking me, my relatives invite me to the walima, and there are a lot of munkarat that are going on in the walima, and I'm a practicing Muslim. I'm not one of those people who, I just go, I don't care. I don't care what's going on. They invited me, I'm gonna go. The Prophet mentioned, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, إِذَا دُعِيَ أَحَدُكُمْ إِلَى الْوَلِيمَةِ فَلْيَأْتِهَا. If someone invites you to come to the walima, it's fardu ayn on you. You have to go. It's not fard kifaya. He said, haqqul muslim ala muslim sit. The right that a Muslim has on his brother is 6. One of them, if he invites you to come have dinner, it's wajib for you to go. If you have the ability to go, it's wajib for you to go. That's his haqq as a Muslim. So the person, he doesn't care. Rasulullah told me to go to every walima, so I'm gonna go. I don't care if they're eating monkey meat there. I don't care if they're dancing. I don't care if they're gambling. The important thing is I got invited. I'm not asking any questions. So we're not talking about that person. They're on an extreme. Nor are we referring to the person who never wants to go to any walima, because they're gonna be munkarat at every walima. At every walima, there's going to be some evil at every walima. So he doesn't go to the walima of his biological brother, sister, his cousins. And by not going to the walima, he makes a rift between not only him, but him and his family. Because he's practicing, but his family's not practicing. His mother's father not practicing. So when he doesn't go to the walima, his aunts and uncles get upset with the mother and the father and all the family because he doesn't want to go to the walima. There's a middle course. So what do we do about these issues of the walima? First, let me speak to the one who is the sahib of the walima. My daughter's getting married. My son is going to get married. My daughter is going to marry your son. Your daughter is going to marry my son. Whoever that's his situation, I'm responsible for that walima. You as the father of the girl, you're responsible for that walima. Why put the burden and the onus on everybody in the community? I'm gonna have all kind of drama going on in my walima, and I'm forcing it down your throat. I'm tired of people forcing things down in my throat. LGBT, force it down my throat. Taxes that are oppressive, force it down my throat. Why you gotta force everything down? Why is it that the one who's practicing or trying to practice, he's the one who always has to get with the program? No, I'm gonna say, your brother, his daughter's getting married, your niece, your nephew, it's your job to make sure that the walima is correct. So I'm gonna say first and foremost to the ashab of the wala'im, you're the one doing the walima, you get with the program and stop putting us and other people in a position that's compromised. Allah mentioned in the Quran to all of us, قُلْ إِنَّ الصَّلَاةِ وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَا وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ إِذْ قَالَ لَهُ رَبُّ أَسْلِمْ قَالَ أَسْلَمْتُ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Allah mentioned, tell them, Ya Muhammad, my sacrifice and my prayer, all of my life and my death is for Allah. The way I live and the way I die is going to be in accordance to the Sharia. So I live doing what the religion told me what to do. And the religion told me how to have my walima, told me how to dress. My religion told me what to do. So the religion is responsible for how I will let him go. We're not Christians. The walima of the Muslim, Muslim girl, is walking in and they're singing or playing, here comes the bride all dressed in white. And the Muslims are throwing rice on her. And she's wearing a white gown. And you can see her arms. And behind her are her relatives carrying this long dress. That's haram. And then they exchange rings. I'm not saying wearing a ring is haram, but a wedding ring is haram. That's not our religion. Let me put the ring on this finger, honey. All right, and then I'll put this one on your finger, honey. That's Christianity. And in our religion, you can't almost get away from this ring thing. Can you marry a lady and give her a ring as a dowry? Yes. Can you marry a lady and give her a ring as a gift? Yes. Can you be married to your wife and just give her a ring before, after? Yes. But that ring ceremony is Christianity. It's not our religion. Even the Jews have enough izzah in their religion not to do that. But Muslims, well, what are you talking about? So it's your responsibility to make the walima correct. As for the community, you get invited to the walima. And in the walima, there's ikhtilat. I'm talking about crazy ikhtilat. Men and women. There are 35, 20 tables in the place. Each table consists of men and women sitting together. And in some of those tables, there is the lady who wears niqab. So when she's eating with her face veil, she has to eat under her niqab or not eat at all. Sometimes, the people will have a partition between the men and the women, meaning they're over there and they're over there. That's better, but it should be something there where they don't see each other. It's something. Let the women be upstairs, the men be downstairs. That's better. But there's ikhtilat. There's music. There are people at the walima who will be taking videos of your wife. Your wife's not getting married. Your daughter's not getting married. They're just in the cut, chilling out, answering the dawah of the person who's doing the walima. And they're just there. But there are people in there, they don't care. They don't give a rat's ear about who they capture in that video. And while other people are looking at their video, they're looking at your wife who wears hijab. And on that day, she had her clothes off. A lot of munkarat. The fitna of the women in our weddings is a problem. Women going to the wedding. I went to a wedding recently, 95% of the women didn't have hijab on, 95. Their faces were caked out with mascara, fake eyelashes. Now, if they put that mascara on and they just got in their car and they went and only women are gonna see them, no problem, that's what you wanna do. But they're there for everybody to see. Who does that? Meaning, which man from amongst us allows his wife to go out like that? So those are the munkarat. How do we deal with that? First thing I want to say, Ikhwani, for those of you who say, I'm not going, I'm going to say what I'm about to say so that if any of you are put in this situation in the future, inshallah, someone says, well, there's a talk on the internet that I can give to my relatives so that they can understand why I'm not attending, so they can understand why I'm taking this position. I would like to go to the walima. Wallahi, I want to make the musharak of this day. This is a day of being happy, and I understand that. but I'm not going to that walima. I have some level of deen. I'll go to a Christian walima before I go to that, because that's a joke. If that's an Islamic week, that has nothing to do with Islam. There are Muslims who are there. I'm not saying kuffar, but that's not an Islamic walima. The first issue is, there are ayat that tell you don't go to those walimas. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ayat. وَاتَّقُوا فِتْنَةً لَا تُصِيبَنَّ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنكُمْ خَاصَّةً. Everyone should fear the punishment, fear the fitna that Allah will cause to go down, and that fitna will not punish only the ones who are the evildoers. That fitna will also punish the ones who were with the evildoers. That's one of the many ayat. وَقَدْ نَزَّلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الْكِتَابِ أن إذا سمعتم آيات الله يكفر بها ويستهزئ بها فلا تقعدوا معهم حتى يخوضوا في حديث غيره إنكم إذن مثله. It's been revealed to you, Muhammad, and to all of your believing brothers and sisters in this religion, that if you ever see the ayat of Allah being disbelieved in, if you ever see the ayat of Allah being ridiculed and not practiced, then don't sit with those people until they change what they're doing. If you don't do that, then you're just like them. You'll be just like them. If you're sitting with a group of people gambling, and you're not gambling, you are gambling. If you sit with a group of people who are drinking wine, you're not drinking wine, you're a part of that. And on and on and on. That ayah says don't sit with them. Allah described the believers. وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِاللَّغْوِ مَرُّوا كِرَامًا. The believer is the one, when he passed by vain speech, when he passed by what's batil, he passed by honorably. He doesn't sit there listening to the music. He doesn't sit there just chit-chatting and there's some evil stuff going on. He has every reason to leave. And there are many ayat I want to repeat to you. Inshallah, as soon as it starts raining, we're stopping this khutbah. We got people outside, we have to stop. As soon as they come and say it's raining. From those adillah, and they are many, Ali and Fatima, may Allah be pleased with them, invited a man to come to Ali's house for some grub. So they invited the man. The man came. Ali radiallahu anhu was told by Fatima, only if we would have invited Rasulullah. We should have invited my father. Let's invite him. So they sent the messenger to the Nabi. You come as well. The Prophet came, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to the house of his daughter, to the house of his cousin, his son-in-law. And it's a dawah. When he went to the door and the door was open, he found in the door there was something that was exorbitant. It was overboard in its decoration. And you can imagine how poor Fatima was, how poor Ali was. What did they have in the house? It was something that was muzawwiq. It was extravagantly decorative. Prophet Muhammad stopped and didn't go in and he left. Fatima said, Ya Ali, go see why he left. And that was the companions. They were not like us. If a person does something, he doesn't care. Halal, haram, Allah is angry, not, I don't care, just do it. Go and see what prevented my father from not coming in. Some of our trip, our kids, I tell you, they don't give a rat's tail whether the father or the mother are angry or not. They don't even care. They hope they're angry so they don't have to interact with them. Go, Hadi, go see what's going on. He said, Ya Rasulullah, you didn't come in. May my mother and my father be sacrificed. What prevented you from coming to the house? He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, innahu laysa li wala nabiyyin ghayri an yadkhula baytan muzawwaqa. It's not permissible for me, and it's not permissible for any messenger to come into any house that is overly decorative, overboard. You can have a nice house, you can have a nice masjid, you can have nice clothes, but you shouldn't go overboard where you're trying to make people look at you, where you're wasting money on what is not really that important at the expenses of what's more important. So he refused to go in. He refused to go into the house for the regular dinner. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's why my brother, my sister, uncle, mother, I ain't coming to it. Because this is what the Prophet refused to do. And that munkarat, too much. Talking about come to the Muslim wedding and they got a table of LGBT. Wallahi, I ain't coming to that wedding. I've been invited to weddings as the imam to conduct the wedding. I go ready and knowing I can see anything. 95% of the last wedding, no hijab. All Muslims. 95%. From the neck down, they had nice clothes on, but their hair was all over the place and mascara. I've been to a wedding. Listen to, I'm gonna tell you. They invited me to do the wedding of the daughter in August. And that was way back in April. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Where's the wali? He's there. The dowry, there. If she's forced, no. Witnesses, okay, we'll do it. And then on the day of the wedding, when I meet the guy, the man, he is a non-Muslim, not even a revert yet. And then the professional mother and father, doctors, real professionals, they say to me, Brother Imam, Sheikh, can you give him the shahada now? Right now, before the... You told me you wanted me to do the wedding way back in March, and he's accepting, nah, I ain't doing this wedding. And then they say, oh, you Shadid. You're Shadid. You're Shadid. You're Shadid in trying to break your daughter's religion. Don't call me the Shadid. Why do we always have to take the pressure? You are the one who's Shadid. I'm not Shadid for doing that. If I were to do that wedding, I would be mutasahil, mutakasil. Those kuffar women, men are not permissible for Muslim women and vice versa. If your daughter wants to marry a revert, no problem. But don't let his dowry be the day of the wedding that he accepts Islam. What's wrong with you? Who does that? So there are reasons we're not going to go. With the companions, there was Abdullah bin Umar. He invited Abu Ayyub, come to my house for some grub. Abu Ayyub went to the house, knocked on the door. When they opened up the door, he saw that the wall was covered with a curtain, something impermissible in Islam. We can cover the windows with curtains, but you cannot cover the whole wall in your house with a curtain. Why? It's extravagance. It's israf. You can just put it on the window and the rest, use it for something else, spin it fi sabilillah, save the money. That wall needs being covered like that for. Abu Ayyub, he said, make it in car. Abdullah bin Umar, what is this? A curtain. A curtain on the wall. Not the Muslim woman walking with a dress and here comes the bride, all dressed in white, throwing rice on her. He said, Gharabana an-nisa. Our women folk overwhelmed us. This is here because my women did it. Abu Ayyub said to Abdullah bin Umar, who was known for his salab in the deen, his quwwah in the deen, his shiddah in the deen, fi dhatillah, haqqillah. He said, you tell me that? If someone would have told me what I just heard from you, I would have believed it. But you telling me that, that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. He said, I'm not eating your food. And he left. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ونسأل الله تعالى التوفيق والسداد. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا وطيبا مباركا فيه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. And getting down off of this minbar, that is a bona fide position, and there are more dalils. On the other side is the position, you have to look at the situation. I am not here telling you, bi'ainik, don't go to the walima of your brother or your sister. Don't go to the walima. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm telling you to weigh the issue. If you want to ask me, am I going to a walima where the Muslims invited LGBT people and there are people in it? I ain't going. Will I go to a walima where there are Jewish people there, and Christians, non-Muslims? I'll go to that. I'll go to that walima, because there's nothing haram about that. Will I go to a walima that, as the one who's usually doing the wedding, I'm going to go? Why? The people have to get married. And I have to fear Allah to the best of my ability. I don't got nothing to do with what they're doing. If it's really madness, I'll take a position. If I was invited as a guest, I'm gonna go. But I'm gonna validate my presence. I'm gonna get that mic, inshallah, and give a nice kalima about something in an easy way. So I'm not telling anybody here, don't go to the walima. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you the way, the situation, the masalih and the mafasid. And don't be a chump. Weigh the benefits and the harms. If I don't go to this walima, I'm going to cause an explosion amongst my family. So I'm going to go. Because the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, man ra'a minkum munkara falyughayyirhu biyadihi. Anyone who sees something that's wrong, change it with your hands. If you can't, change it with your tongue. If you can't, then hate it in your heart. This is a walima I'm going to go to. I got to hate it in my heart. And I'm going to take myself far away from where the women are sitting close to the men. And I'm going to tell my wife, stay far away from that place. Stay far. But if my wife is going to go to a walima where she's going to be sitting at the same table with Amr, Bakr, Zayd, Sa'id, Hamza, Mu'tasam min al-nas, I'm going to tell my wife, don't go to that walima. Don't go to that walima. Unless they're going to find for you a place you can go and eat on your leisure and in peace. So take it easy with the issue. In concluding the natija here, weigh the situations. And this shows the importance of everybody getting knowledge. If Allah wants good for you, He'll give you the ability to weigh the harms and the benefit. Man is in the 3rd year of the university, 4th year of the university, and now he starts practicing, she starts practicing, and they drop out of the university because there's free mixing, ikhtilat. Because the teacher's a woman, and she's at the board writing, and the boy has to put his eyes down. He says, I'm dropping out of school. No, that's a knee-jerk reaction, that's emotional. Get someone to help you to make those decisions. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us the wherewithal and the ability to establish our religion, inshallah, within ourselves and within our community. And that's another thing. The walima is our hukuma. Our hukuma. There's no hakim over us who's zalim, gonna force us to do something. The walima is our hukuma. This non-Muslim government is not telling us what to do, what not to do. I've gone to a walima where some places tell the people, in order to get married Islamically, you have to get married first according to the law. Am I against that? No. I say go ahead and do it. But when you do that, you're not married until the Muslims do it. So you're compelled, you're forced to let it get written down by the kuffar first. Go ahead and do it. But you're not married at the walima. Talk about you may now kiss the bride, and he picks that thing up and kiss her. African wala'im. The walima from Africa, especially with the Afro beats right now on social media, the way the girls are dancing, the way the lady and her friends are dancing, and a guy who becomes the husband or he's going to become the dancer with his wife, and all her stuff is out. What kind of walima is that? We have to keep up with the non-Muslims in West Africa. We have to keep up with the non-Muslims. We're there, they do it, we have to do it. No, those kind of wala'ims, we're going to tell our daughters and our wives, you're not going to that walima, even in niqab, even dressed right. You're not going to that walima. Why? وَاتَّقُوا فِتْنَةً لَا تُصِيبَنَّ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا خَاصَّةً وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. May Allah Ta'ala establish our feet firmly upon the kitab and the sunnah, make us of those people who are truthful in word and deed. Give us sabr, give us hikmah, give us fiqh, and give us fahm in this religion. And may He help us to work with our relatives in issues like this. Oh, relative, your nephew, your niece, your son or daughter, they're just trying to please Allah. He loves Allah more than you. You expect him to have more allegiance to you and obedience to you over his Lord? You are fitna for your child, a big fitna. And that's oppressive. And if he or she goes to the walima in order to make you happy because they don't want to cause fitna and fasad, then you'll be the one who have to bear the responsibility of that Yawm al-Qiyamah. What are you doing? Making people unhappy. And this is why I say to you, some of us and these Jama'at al-Islamiyya, they just don't get it. They don't get it. Everything is about the khilaf and politics and this and that. And this is our community. The father and the mother and the uncles and the aunties and the families that put on these crazy walimas, if that was the hakim, that father, what do you think Islam would be like? What do you think? So, what is Islam going to be like if you were in control of the Muslims, or you, or me? What do you think the religion is going to be like? So we look at these hukam and we say, look at them, Halloween, look at this, israf, look at this, dhulm. They put the man in sijin for 40 years. That's dhulm, no doubt, dhulm. What did he do to deserve that? You didn't even judge him yet. He didn't even give a hukm, a qada yet. That's dhulm. We can never support that nonsense talking about we don't make khuruj. Khuruj is one thing and supporting dhulm is another thing. But the question is, what do you think your rule will look like? You tell the people in the masjid every Friday, move up, come to the masjid, get in the row up here. People still gonna sit back there. This is just coming to the masjid. What do you think the one who can't follow that instruction is gonna do if he had the reins of hukum in his hand? He or she can't even come to the masjid and walk as close up as possible and don't sit in the back on the wall. What do you think his hukum is gonna look like? So the point is, don't get fixated on the hukam. Get fixated on the hukam right here. You are a hakim over your family, you are a hakim over you over yours, and me over mine. Aqim as-salat yarhamakumullah.